So we have got the Skillful centre-back. This is the technical third evolution for today, but really it's the second because the Build Your Birthday is two from the same one. We have got the position of who said centre-backs can't dazzle. Obviously with for birthday, everybody will be a 5-star, 5-star. Upgrade your defenders' dribbling and skill moves, turning them into a ball-playing powerhouse ready to break ankles and defences. Calm down, EA. We're not going to go that much. We are going to get a play 4, play 3, win 2, play 3, win 2, and that is it. We're going to get a skill move of 4 and a weak foot, I'm assuming, of 4 as well. Or is it just the weak foot? Okay, just skill move. No, weak foot. Okay, I mean, fair enough. So we're just going to get a skill move player. So it's not even going to be a 5-5, which is always interesting. We're going to get pace. We're going to get dribbling. We're going to get a bit of physicality and vision as well. And also a little bit of passing in this. So make sure that with this, realistically, you don't want to go too crazy on anybody. So if we have a look at somebody like Bastoni, with him, we are going to get a lovely upgrade of 6 pace, which is going to be nice. But the one thing you've always got to make sure is you're looking at the playstyles as well. Make sure you are going for somebody, even if it's not a playstyle plus, that has got a considerable amount of playstyles as well. It's always going to be a big factor whenever looking at these, because realistically, you're not actually going to be doing the 5-star skills with the centre-back. So maybe even just picking a CDM could be an option. You've got centre-mids that can obviously go into this option, giving them the 5-star skills, a little bit of pace, a little bit of dribbling, that could really utilise this in the future as such. Obviously with this you are going to get the long ball plus, I believe it is. You're going to get that one first, more so than anything. But you will get the ball playing defender plus plus, so the roles are going to be there. You get the trickster play style, but it's going to be more valued at a centre mid or at least a CDM than anybody. Like if we are looking down the list of who I've got, if I was to go like a Chouameni, for instance, it's not going to give him the greatest pace, don't get me wrong, but it does give him a solid amount of dribbling upgrade, better than what he personally already has already. But then, like I say, you've got to make sure when we look at the passing side of it, we've got a solid amount of defending, which is nice. We could look for a little bit more passing, a little bit more shooting in a future Evo, but he is 90 as well, so always make sure you are looking at it with that. So obviously we are going to go over to foot.gg. We're going to see what everybody else is absolutely trending on this. So we've got some big players in this also. We've got obviously Havertz here. So let's have a look at the Evo itself then, because I can imagine that is going to be a great one to go with. The Carragher is an outrageous shout, in fact. That is one that I would suggest looking at. Rijkaard obviously being a big shout as well. As we go further down, we've got Ndicka, you've got Rudiger, got the, was he fantasy? Yeah, you got the fantasy. I don't know if he gets upgrades still. I'm pretty sure he does, but I don't know if he does, to be honest. It's a flip of a coin. I don't know if they still get them upgrades, but time will most definitely tell. So then we obviously look down. I do think Carragher is going to be a great shout for the striker version that we got. Like I said before, he already had the defensive ability. Now throwing in a solid amount of dribbling, getting a bit more on the passing. He's already got some solid dribbling. Like you throw an anchor on him now, that is going to be a pretty good centre-back. Or even if you could put him as kind of like a right-back or left-back, he's going to do some damage. I mean, you're 1 point away from getting a CDM with him. And to be honest, he does really, really well for an SBC card especially. So other options you can go with, like you can obviously go with a Saliba if you want to go with that. But I think with the long ball plus, I wouldn't necessarily make that mistake. I think that's going to be better off with a Rijkaard. Like having a long ball pass and also an intercept is pretty decent in my eyes. I personally would look more so at that than I would at anything else. Obviously, we're going to have I want to say Militao. We're going to have Joe Gomez, who's going to be thrown into a shout. Arejo, obviously, there as well. For me, you could argue with a Saliba, but I think you'd have probably done an upgrade already for him. I think the biggest thing with it would be as well, if you are doing this Saliba, I would most definitely be looking at that weak foot upgrade if you've already got it or if it is even still there, because you definitely want to have at least a 4-star weak foot going into this. So make sure that you are looking at that as well, kind of like the combinations of Evos adding onto it. So I think when you look at it, for me, you can go with the centre-back options. It's quite all right to do that. You are getting a solid upgrade regardless. Like we're looking at 6 on the pace up to 86. 90 on the physicality, 90 on the dribbling, the short passing, the overall going to 90, 88 on the defending. Most centre-backs would be at that sort of level anyway. 86 on the curve, 90 vision, and also the 87 long pass is already a pretty good shout also. So I think for me, trending this one, I personally would be looking at the kind of the easier CDMs. Rijkaard would probably be my number one shout here as a CDM. And just as an extra option, if we're looking at Footbin, they are pretty much on that same sort of level. Saliba being the name's going to be there. Rudiger, Saliba again. Rijkaard's going to be up there as well. So there is going to be a fair amount of shout. I do like Tchouaméni, but I think he's had a better option prior to this. So loads and loads of options you can go with. It's just a fun upgrade. At this point, I'd say it's nice to get a little extra bit of overall skills, to be honest. Like, we know Saliba's already got very good defending in general, so it's going to be just a nice upgrade to him, and he's already got Anticipate, so can't really argue at that sort of card at this point still. But let me know down below what you think, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Loads of Evos coming soon. Peace.